Hello, everybody. My name is Ray. Welcome to the Evangelical Dark Web. Today, we got some big news coming out of the Southern Baptist Convention. Tom Ascol will be running for president of the Southern Baptist Convention. This is huge. He is the founder of Founders Ministry, and he is a Reformed Baptist, relatively pretty solid, if I do say so myself. Very good guy. And he's going to be running against Willie Rice and the liberal elites of the Southern Baptist Convention. This is a huge development in SBC 2022, and this has renewed life in the conservative resurgence after it died in 2021. A series of providential events has resurrected the conservative resurgence 2.0. This is huge. This is huge. So we got a lot of pieces on the board here in play. First, we have Ed Litton and Sermongate. The Sermongate scandal that plagued Ed Litton shortly after he won the SBC presidency has thus led to him not seeking a second term in 2022. In his stead, Willie Rice has been announced as the candidate, and he will run as the establishment liberal wing, as Willie Rice has thus been exposed by forces in grassroots Christian media like myself, Evangelical Dark Web, John Harris at Conversations That Matter, and a few others as being woke and a client of Docent Research Group, which I exposed several months ago. So anyway, Tom Ascol will be running against Willie Rice, and there is a real chance that Tom Ascol could unseat and defeat Willie Rice, who is otherwise the front runner. This is huge, and here's where I got to admit that I was wrong on previous analysis, but I wasn't completely wrong as I try to weasel out of being wrong. I predicted that the Conservative Baptist Network would nominate Lee Brand, the current first vice president of the Southern Baptist Convention, simply because he's black, and the Conservative Baptist Network has been a huge disappointment to me thus far, and even in response to Ed Litton's presidency and the things he's doing there, they have been extremely disappointing in their messaging in response as an opposition faction. They have not been doing a good job, and I thought in continuing that fashion they would uncreatively nominate Lee Brand as their guy, but Tom Ascol has taken that nomination away from them by running himself. So Tom Ascol will be nominated at the Southern Baptist Convention of 2022 to be president of the Southern Baptist Convention. This has already drawn the support of the Conservative Baptist Network. Tom Ascol is not one of the 70 people on the steering council of the Conservative Baptist Network. He's not one of them. Vody Baucham actually is, by the way. So Tom Ascol is not actually one of the major figures at the Conservative Baptist Network. He has his own organization, which, is allied with the Conservative Baptist Network. But I think at this convention, we will see Founders Ministry take a lead role as opposed to the Conservative Baptist Network. And I think this is a major development and a good thing. I think this is a good thing. Tom Ascol wants to be the next Adrian Rogers. This is a good thing. So a few people have already come out to support Tom Ascol. This includes Mike Stone, the last year's Conservative Baptist Network candidate for the president of the Southern Baptist Convention. Mike Stone has already thrown in his support and endorsement. So that is huge. I believe the rest of the Conservative Baptist Network will follow suit. They already sent an email touting the nomination, so it seems very likely that they will have the full support of the Conservative Baptist Network. Additionally, I was initially going to do a video or article about can Tom Buck save the Southern Baptist Convention, floating and promoting the idea that Tom Buck should be run for president of the Southern Baptist Convention. This was first brought up by J.D. Hall over at Protestia. J.D. Hall promised that if Tom Buck ran, that he would deliver 1,000 messengers to Anaheim to vote for Tom Buck. Tom Buck is another ally in this fight in the grassroots evangelical movement. Tom Buck has done a very good job in exposing egalitarian churches funded by the North American Mission Board. So that's Tom Buck's role in this. Tom Ascol instead will be the nominee, and J.D. Hall or Protestia in general has said that this would be the second best result. They've already said that this is the second best thing. So next to Tom Buck, Tom Ascol. So it seems very likely that the promise of the 1,000 messengers is still on the table. And going by the demographics of the Southern Baptist Convention, I think 1,000 messengers can swing this election. Now, again, there's going to be cost constraints. There's going to be, at the moment, there are not going to be any Branch Covidian restrictions or theater at the Southern Baptist Convention of 2022. So the annual convention does not have any Branch Covidian theater being employed. So there's no restrictions or anything like that. That is a good thing. That will certainly encourage conservative messengers or Christian messengers to show up. Additionally, I think it is time to rally the troops here. Let's call the banners. Let's rally around this. Tom Ascol is a great candidate. He's a great guy. I fully support his candidacy, and I think he would do a much better job than Mike Stone, in my opinion. I guess we can talk more later about how effective I think Tom Ascol will be. But so far, they've already delivered. The Founders Ministry put out a press release indicating, and it was a very strong press release. I have a quote from it in the article that's linked in the description below. Additionally, they gave Megan Basham, the reporter over at the Daily Wire, who has done an excellent job reporting on evangelical news, they gave her the exclusive for the press release. That is much bigger. That is a much bigger platform than the Baptist Press. So this is a huge announcement. It's also worth noting that it was Tom Ascol that got Donald Trump's attention on the issue of critical race theory. So Tom Ascol is a player. He is a bigger voice than, say, myself. And no, that goes without saying. But anyway, he is a major figure. He does have some name ID. He does have some street cred. And he's a strong candidate. He's a very strong candidate. Much stronger than Mike Stone, in my opinion. So I fully support this. This is a great idea for him to run. And we got a convention now. And as I've been touting, I will be live streaming the convention on evangelicaldarkweb.org. I hope to have some guests on as well to live stream this event. Make it fun, because it's probably going to be it's going to be wild. There are going to be some wild shenanigans at this convention, whether it be the woke resolutions that the messengers may or may not gullibly swallow, and this now contested presidential election between, so far, Willie Rice of the liberal establishment and Tom Ascol of the conservative resurgence 2.0. This is going to get wild. This is going to be pretty awesome. And I see providential events coming together, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm seeing God at work here, and there could be hope yet. So anyway, this is Ray from the Evangelical Dark Web. Let me know what you think about what I think. Subscribe. Definitely subscribe to the Evangelical Dark Web so you don't miss articles and videos. That also includes subscribing to that RSS feed. And if you really like the Evangelical Dark Web, you can become a subscriber over at evangelicaldarkweb.org/join. That's also linked in the description below. We have a Patreon-like system, but we don't use Patreon because Patreon censors, and, we kind of built our own system here. So, again, Let me know what you think about what I think. Have a blessed day, and I will catch you on the next one.